man, moving on, Lou, some other stuff, you know, as we be going through the archives and oh, on a completely different note.
Okay.
Brothers talking. And when you be talking and don't know who you talking in front of. So let me take you back on this story. It is circa Pops came home from the original case with Eddie. By the way, if you don't know or have not read or really want to know why we can talk the way we talk, then you need to really read Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, available on Amazon, Kindle, and directly paperback on Amazon. You can even contact us at bigbossfilmworks.com. But yeah, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, which tell you why Daddy was coming home in '84. And of course it led to the award-winning documentary Motown Mafia that is available on Tubi and Amazon Prime. So Pops comes home April of '84. So this had to be late March '84. We over, Eddie ain't with me, but I'm over his man house, Tracy and Scott Slade. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to Jabba the Hutt, a.k.a. Tracy, a.k.a. Jabba the Hutt. And we just, I'm just over there in some mischief. And as Tracy's house was kind of like the headquarters for the crew, a certain portion of that YBI crew would always fall through there.
Right on.
So, brother named Malcolm, shout out to Malcolm. Just saw Malcolm not too long ago. Shout out to Malcolm. Brother named Malcolm, you know, was good friends of Brett Goodwin, R.I.P. Brett. In fact, he was the conduit later for a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, Malcolm come downstairs. We don't really, even back then, you know, geez, don't do a lot of name introductions. So it's just, this my man, that's my man. We give each other, what up, how you? They keep it moving. Malcolm trying to get Tracy to give him a little bit of work. The HUD is being a little resistance to the idea of credit. Malcolm explains to Tracy that I'm good for the debt because don't you know my uncle's man, Courtney Brown, gonna be home from the Fed job. Gonna be home from the Fed job. So it's like a bar. Tracy has like a bar in his basement. So Tracy's behind the bar, Malcolm's on one end of the bar, I'm on the other end of the bar. And I hear this guy say, Courtney Brown about to be home, and I'm working with my uncle, and we already got his bag.
Okay.
So I just instinctively, I say, who did you say? Now, I'm not thinking, I'm young. I was probably a junior in high school. No, Pop's coming home, so I'm in between my freshman and sophomore year of college. I said, who did you say? So street brother, Malcolm Street dude, he looking at me like, who's this nigga asking me this kind of thing? So obviously Tracy know what time it is, so Tracy just look at me and be like, give me like let this be for a minute. He told Malcolm, oh, that's just my cuz, don't even worry about it. Quickly reflects, and then I guess I kind of looking back on a force Tracy's head, because Tracy's like, let me just get this nigga Malcolm this bag, and then he'll leave, and we can kill this whole little situation. So, needless to say, as a good son would, I go back to Pops. Pops comes home in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm like, Daddy, you know this guy named Malcolm? And he's like, my man Sam's nephew name is Malcolm. Describe him. I'm like, light-skinned, this looking guy, kind of stocky built. He like, yeah, that's Malcolm. He like, why? How you know Malcolm? I say, I was over one of Eddie's friend Tracy's house, and I replay him the story, and he was in the basement, and he told my friend Tracy that you was about to be coming home. And he just said this in public. I'm like, yeah, Daddy, that's what I'm telling you.
Right.
That's what the point of the controversy is. Yeah, he just said this in public. He like, okay, I'll take care of it. About a week later, he called me over to his joint. He like, I want to make sure that this is the right guy. He didn't call Malcolm over to the spot. Sure that this is the right guy. Malcolm walking in the door. I'm like, yeah, that's him. Malcolm like, don't I know you? I was like, yeah, you know me from Tracy basement. And then I think it hit him what had happened. And, Pops, of course, gave him the lecture. Like, don't you ever in your life
be
putting my name out there like that. Are you kidding me? This ain't a play game.
Yeah.
You cannot put my name out there like that. Luckily, in this time, you put my name out in front of my son and some good people, Tracy and them, but you put my name and our business out in the street like that, in the wrong situation, it could come back to hurt everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Malcolm ended up mending that little rift. He always ended up looking out for me. In fact, it seemed like he had radar. Anytime I was in that Dexter Davidson Livernois area, he could always pull up on me and be like, everything all right with you, Junior Brown? Everything all right with you, Junior Brown? You're good. And in fact, I just ran into him back in the day. Not here far from the studios. So be careful, young people. I know, especially today's world, what they call it, clout.
Clout chasing.
Clout is important, but clout chasing can get you twisted.
Yeah, big time.
Clout chasing can get you twisted and get the boss mad at you. And you might be clout chasing and you might be clout chasing in front of the boss's son, who gonna then tell the boss that they using your name chasing clout. Even though I think back then, I just think it was in the flow of Malcolm's conversation. He didn't come there chasing clout.
Yeah.
He needed
He was
to play,
excited.
and he needed to play a card.
Exactly.
The HUD was giving him some resistance on the deal he had structured, and he needed to play. He had an ace in the hole, and he was like, "Let me play this ace in the hole."
Let me put this out there. Name drop.
Name drop, and he knew that Tracy was cool with Eddie Jr. He knew the backstory of Eddie's old man and my old man. So he knew by dropping Courtney Brown's name that he was basically saying, look, man, I'm about to be working for family. You know what I mean? Your man's man is about to come home. Little did he know that your man's son and his man's son, that the fourth person there, he's actually in this room right now. So yeah, just a little funny story back in the day. Be careful clout chasing though. That's the moral. That's the moral of that story.
Yeah.
Be careful clout chasing.
And
That's the moral. That's the moral of name dropping. Because yeah, it can really upset the boss sometimes.
(1973). The Detroit Free Press's front page proclaims, "Dope kingpins get away with it." They had names like Jesse James, Pretty Ricky, the Black Greek, and Mr. Clean. 2 of the 12 men listed as Detroit's biggest heroin dealers were next-door neighbors, and in reality, they were the 2 largest heroin dealers in Detroit, dwarfing the other men on the list. Eddie the Fat Man Jackson, charismatic son of a pool hall owner, and his chief lieutenant, Courtney the Field Marshal Brown, a former city bus driver, had built an empire on a par with men like Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas of New York. But theirs was a very different and in many ways more sophisticated operation than Barnes and Lucas's, based on family ties and finesse more than murder and mayhem. They truly were the Motown Mafia, and the saga of Eddie Jackson, Courtney Brown, and their families stretched from the 1960s and into the present day.